Let's talk about the one NBA team that hasn't signed a single free agent this offseason. No rumors turning into deals, no headlines breaking the internet, just absolute silence. That team, the Golden State Warriors, and the reason behind all this quiet. One name, Jonathan Kuminga. This situation with Kuminga has turned into the Warriors' off-season saga. Everything's at a standstill, and it all circles back to his contract. After days of speculation, it finally came out. The Warriors have made their offer. 2 years, approximately $40 million, $20 million per season. A solid number for a player entering his 5th year in the league, but Kuminga said no. Flat out turned it down. That one decision has the entire organization holding its breath. Because whether people realize it or not, this is more than just a contract dispute. This is about trust, value, and a player's ambition to be more than a bench piece or rotation option. This is about Kuminga believing he's ready to be a star, and the Warriors not quite sure if he is. To understand where both sides are coming from, you've got to rewind a bit. Kuminga was taken by the Warriors in the lottery, a player full of athleticism, potential, and flashes of brilliance, but he's also been inconsistent, both in minutes and in production. Last season, he dealt with a nagging ankle injury that sidelined him for a large chunk of the winter. Basically December through February. In that stretch, Golden State struggled with rotation depth and missed his presence on the court. Still, when healthy, Kuminga showed some real growth. He finished the season averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. Not exactly all-star numbers, but for someone playing just over 20 minutes a night, it's solid. And here's where the story gets tricky. The Warriors are offering him $20 million per season. On the surface, that sounds like a lot for someone who's not a starter. But the NBA is a business of projections. You don't just pay for what a player did, you pay for what you believe they're going to become. Golden State's offer is saying, we think you've got another level, and we're willing to invest in that. Kuminga's refusal is saying, I already am that next level guy, and I want to be paid like it. So what does $20 million get you in today's NBA? To figure that out, let's look at other players in that same salary range and compare their production. Start with Jarrett Allen. The Cleveland Cavaliers center is earning right around that $20 million mark. Allen's a defensive anchor, gives you 10 to 11 points per game, grabs around 7 rebounds, and shoots a high percentage from the field, though most of his buckets come off lobs or dunks. He's a completely different player than Kuminga, but their financial value on paper is nearly identical. Then there's Lonzo Ball. Injuries have wrecked his recent seasons, but when healthy, he was a do-it-all point guard. In his first 4 seasons, Ball averaged around 11 to 12 points per game, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and was known for elite perimeter defense and high basketball IQ. Despite missing time, he secured a deal close to what Kuminga is asking, or more, accurately rejecting. Lonzo's offensive numbers weren't better than Kuminga's, but his floor general skills and all-around impact arguably were. Now look at Josh Hart. He started out slow in Los Angeles, bounced to New Orleans, and eventually found a home with the New York Knicks. Through his first 4 years, Hart didn't average more than 10 points per game, but he brought hustle, versatility, and rebounding from the wing. Eventually, he carved out a reputation as a winning role player. His offensive numbers were modest, but his intangibles earned him a respectable payday. Again, in the ballpark of what Golden State is offering Kuminga. Let's go a step further and look at Alex Caruso. He came up through the G League, fought his way into the Lakers rotation, and made a name as one of the grittiest perimeter defenders in the league. By year 4, Caruso was earning under $10 million per season, but since then, he's leveled up financially. He's now in the 18 to 20 million range. Same neighborhood as the Kuminga offer. The difference, Caruso's role is clearly defined. He knows what he brings, and he's elite at it. Kuminga, on the other hand, is still straddling the line between potential star and energy role player. Then you've got Kyle Kuzma. His path might be the closest comparison. Kuzma came into the league as a scorer, made a name for himself with the Lakers, but eventually fell out of their core plans. He signed with Washington, where he finally got room to expand his game. Kuzma's stats hovered around 13 to 15 points per game early on, very similar to Kuminga's. He also had a bit more rebounding and slightly more assists. What's important here is that in his 4th season, Kuzma was making around $13 million, only after proving he could produce consistently in a bigger role. Did he jump to that massive $25 million range? So if Kuzma, with similar numbers and more opportunities, was making $13 million a year for Does it make sense for Kuminga to ask for 20 right now? Another name worth mentioning, DeAndre Hunter, the Atlanta Hawks forward, plays solid defense, averages around 12 to 13 points, and can stretch the floor a bit. He's earning in the $22 million range again, a comparable deal to what's on the table for Kuminga. But Hunter plays more minutes, starts regularly, and has had a more stable role within his team structure. Even Jared Allen, who only reached the $20 million tier in his 5th year, had already become a core piece for Cleveland by then. Meanwhile, Kuminga, despite his championship pedigree and athletic tools, is still trying to find his place in the Warriors' rotation, and that's where the issue lies. Golden State isn't a rebuilding team. They're not handing over the keys to young players and telling them to figure it out. This is still Steph Curry's team, still Draymond Green's team, still Klay Thompson's team. For now, minutes aren't guaranteed, touches aren't guaranteed, roles shift based on matchups, health, and playoff implications. For Kuminga to grow into the player he believes he is, he may need a different environment, one where he can take 20 shots a night, play through mistakes, and learn on the fly. And that's why rumors of sign and trade options keep swirling. Sacramento and Phoenix have been floated as possible destinations if Kuminga lands with the Kings. Someone like DeMar DeRozan could be let go to make room. Would the Warriors get someone like Keegan Murray in return? Highly unlikely. Malik Monk? Maybe, most likely. It'd be a young guard and a draft pick, but Phoenix doesn't have first-rounders to spare. And Golden State reportedly wants at least one pick in any deal. They're not letting Kuminga walk for nothing. So what does this mean for the Warriors? It means they're stuck in limbo. They can't move forward in free agency until Kuminga's future is decided. They don't want to commit more cap space without knowing whether he's part of the plan, and Kuminga, he doesn't want to sign a deal that undervalues him just to keep riding the bench, or fighting for scraps behind a trio of future Hall of Famers. That's the crossroads. The Warriors are offering him a solid contract, arguably more than what some of his statistical peers got at the same point in their careers. But Kuminga sees himself as more than just another rotational piece. And maybe he's right. Maybe in a different system, with more minutes and more trust, he breaks out into a borderline star. But until then, teams are going to pay him based on what he's done, not what he might do. And what he's done so far is show promise, flashes, and some consistency, but not enough to confidently say he's a $20 million per year player. Not yet. That's not to say he won't get there. He absolutely could. But the Warriors, like any smart organization, are trying to find the balance between betting on potential and protecting their flexibility. And remember, the cap is rising. Teams are flush with money. Contracts that looked expensive 3 years ago now look reasonable. $20 million per year for a guy like Kuminga might feel steep today, but in 2 years, it could look like a bargain if he breaks out. The only problem is, he has to stay on the court, stay in the rotation, and produce. Otherwise, he becomes another what if, another talented young player who never found the right fit. For now, both sides are playing chess. The Warriors don't want to overpay. Kuminga doesn't want to sell himself short. And until one of them moves, the offseason for Golden State stays frozen. What makes this entire standoff even more compelling is how unique it is in the current NBA landscape. Most young players entering year 5 have already solidified either their role or their ceiling, and more often than not, their contract situation is settled well before media day. But with Jonathan Kuminga, everything feels unfinished. That's not just about his game. It's about how the Warriors have handled his development, the minutes he's been given, and the role he's been asked to play from the start. This has been a complicated relationship. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Whispers are beginning to swirl around one of the most surprising potential NBA moves in recent memory. Multiple unconfirmed sources are hinting that Filipino swingman RHENZ ABANDO may have inked a deal with none other than the Golden State Warriors. While nothing has been officially announced, insiders close to the situation suggest that a super contract could be in the works. One that would not only mark a groundbreaking chapter in Abando's career, but also serve as a seismic moment for basketball in the Philippines. ABANDO, whose athleticism and shot blocking have turned heads across Asia, has long been touted as a player with NBA potential after stellar performances in both the Korean Basketball League KBL and for the Philippine national team. The 6 feet 2 inches wing has built a reputation as a highflyer with a relentless motor, His two-way game and fearlessness on both ends of the floor have apparently not gone unnoticed by NBA scouts. Golden State, known for making bold moves and identifying under-the-radar talent, might just be the perfect destination for a player like ABANDO. With their aging core and a growing need for fresh energy on the wings, bringing in a defensive specialist with international experience could be a strategic gamble that pays off big. Rumors suggest that Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. has been quietly tracking ABANDO's development for over a year, with scouts reportedly attending several of his games in the KBL. If the deal is confirmed, ABANDO would become one of the very few full-blooded Filipinos to ever sign with an NBA team, a potential cultural milestone that would spark waves of excitement across Southeast Asia. The move could also open the floodgates for more Asian talents to break through into the NBA, further globalizing the league and solidifying the Philippines as a legitimate basketball hotbed. As of now, the Warriors have neither confirmed nor denied the speculation, but as the off-season drama heats up, one thing is certain: RHENZ ABANDO's name is suddenly echoing through the halls of Chase Center, and the basketball world is paying attention. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.